gonna be the first time seeing the container. Welcome to episode 2 of the Container Diaries. Today we're going to go over the floor plan because they have changed since episode 1. Of course, that's why we labeled them as tentative. So I will give you a tour since everything is now laid out, meaning everything is now taped out. And after I give you the tour of the floor plan, we're going to go into cutting out the holes, finally. In episode 1, I did mention that I didn't feel too confident on cutting them out myself because I've never done it before, and I didn't want to take a risk in cutting out the holes and messing up, essentially, since this is my house. But after taking some time to research and practice with my mate, Scott, I feel a lot more comfortable with doing it now. So I'm going to go ahead and do it all myself with the help of a friend who's going to be on fire watch, and yeah, pretty excited. Before we plasma cut, there is one issue that we ran into. The hose from the air compressor has a hole in it, so I'm going to have to repair that, which is pretty easy, but we will get that on camera as to how I did it, and hopefully yours won't have a hole in it. And yeah, let's get to it.
This cut right away, this one right here, this is a really easy cut to do because the plasma cutter just runs along here.
Okay.
And then the one at the top and the bottom, I already kind of etched those out.
Yeah.
So we can just follow those again, but it's pretty simple.
Okay.
And then there's another vertical cut right here. And what I try to do with each of these cuts is put them inside the angle portion of the deck, so that the plasma cutter runs kind of in that angle right there.
Yeah.
So it's a little easier to make that cut.
Right.
So you could probably do that with most of your windows, but you know, it depends on your detail for like how you finish the plywood and everything else around the window opening. Because here, you know, the type of steel that you use is going to be different, right? But this is going to change the overall size of your opening.
Right.
So you got like the rough opening right here all the way around.
Yeah.
And then your window is going to be a little bit smaller than that.
Right.
So that difference, that like extra inch or really extra inch or half an inch, enough for probably caulking to go around.
Right.
But when we're doing that, we'll probably use a laser just like this guy.
Should I get my container leveled properly because it's teetering?
Doesn't really matter.
You don't think so?
No, because this thing, all we're doing is doing a straight line. So what I do is that goes on. I can level it, and you can start with it level, and then you can check it.
Yeah.
Right? So at the beginning of your line, you're at,
oh, I see.
you know, 59 and 7/8. Okay, and then at the end here, see it's down.
Yeah.
So you go.
And there's that.
Yeah, 59 and actually 7/8 almost, so that's about right. That's about
Okay.
it.
Okay.
So you can start, it's good to get your container level because then you can rely on this bubble more, but if you always use your tape, so like check dimensions from the floor.
You can check from one end to the other,
Or
and then
dimensions
it'll
from
be,
the ceiling, yeah.
and then you can adjust the laser.
Right,
Okay.
so that's like 33 and a quarter.
Yeah.
And then over here, at the end, from the same kind of piece, 33. So it's got a slight angle up right now. So we could, or down.
Yeah.
Up.
This was 33.
Up.
This was,
Yeah. So if we push this down a little bit, and someone can stand with a tape measure on the other end until you hit it.
Yeah.
And then it's easy to bubble it.
Okay.
And then I mark these with a pen. And then I use a little metal ruler to bend into that little space. So this is a good way to fill in the gap.
And then draw, okay.
And then you can hit these pieces. Because these are easy to hit, these are easy to cut on the top. When you get into the area where if you don't have a line,
Right.
it's hard.
Like, it's hard, yeah.
Really hard.
Yeah.
Because you can't really see super clearly. So I was gonna just do one quick line in the corner here. Get it right as the container.
So what's happening right now is Scott going over how he did his layout before we actually go in with the plasma cutter and cut that, and teaching me as well. So when he's done with this line, we are gonna get our hands dirty and get plasma cutting. My first time, which is really exciting. I'm glad I get to practice on his, not mine.
I'm glad I had to practice on mine too, because I'll take all the help I can get.
There you go. Yeah, and then once we get this whole wall knocked out, I think we're gonna probably move on to laying out one of my windows, getting that started, which is great. And my process will be probably a lot smoother because I'm not cutting out a whole wall or putting in multiple holes. I'm just cutting out 3 windows. So
yeah, mine might have cut a little too much out of this one.
you cut a lot.
We'll see how it turns out.
Like a lot. Yours definitely have holes.
Couldn't help it. All right, so let's do this. You got your welding jacket. You got your fume hood. We're gonna grab a mask. This does smell a little bit.
Yeah. Should we? I'm gonna crack the rolling
that
door.
needs to be open for sure.
Yeah.
Vaughn, you might want one of these.
Alaska found. And I feel when the dogs begin to smell her.
Oh, nice. Nice handiwork you're doing here. Approved by Surfrider Scotland.
Yes. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, just want to pretty clutch.
That's clever. I like what you did there.
It's
Thanks for fixing that. Actually, I think like my welding parts got on there, or plasma got on there, and cut through it.
Yeah.
And then this one, just pull this back a little bit.
Oh,
and then
that's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there you go. And see, this is your water drip.
So after a while, I need to let it out.
Yeah, even right now. Yeah, that's good. And then you just gotta plug it in.
Yep.
And then ground it. And your ground can't have too much paint on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. This is what I can use, right? So that's what I'm gonna work on. Now that we finally got that hole in the PSI thing fixed. This is for the plasma cutter, this connector. And the only way it will work is if it's directly on the steel. So I'm gonna use this grounder to cut off the paint off these hinges there and there, so I have something to connect it to. Sweet. Alright, so I'm gonna blast this one out, and then blast this one out, then you can go across those two and across those two.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna do this real quick. This is going fast. It's on?
Yeah, it's on.
Breaker went out. So I'm gonna take a little break and get the house moved because the sparks from that window is flying into the mini house. As you can see over here, we don't want to catch the mini house on fire. So while I get that moved, Scott's gonna do the lights. How's the quality on that? Alright, yeah.
You want to knock it out?
Huh?
You want to knock it out? You want to knock it out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty decent guts. I mean, I'm not my best, but not my worst.
So now that the first hole is done, we're gonna work on the back one. So I'm gonna move this piece still all the way to the back so that when the flames from cutting out that window right there comes out, it doesn't splash onto my neighbor's wood. Fire safety. There's buckets of water right there. It is a lot heavier than it looks. Into an issue while we were cutting. Not exactly sure what yet, but firstly I thought the circuit flipped because it takes a lot of power, so it does that, but come to find out it's not the issue. These two lights are flashing. I have no idea what they mean, so I'm going to have to take the time to read the manual to see what this message means. But in the meantime, looks like the plasma cutting has come to a halt until we figure out what this means. Hopefully it's something minor, something that might need to be replaced.
What have you done to me? What have you made of me? Can't feel myself. Can't see myself.
Downloaded the manual for the cutter, and what we need to know is what those indicators mean. Power supply setup, torch for operation. So front control and LEDs 42, so we'll go there. Control is an indicator, so this one is blinking, and so is this one. So for the first one is the fault LED. That indication means when illuminated, this LED indicates that there is a fault with the power supply, which fault conditions will cause one or more of the LEDs to blink. For information on what these fault conditions are and how to correct them, refer to the basic troubleshooting topic in the maintenance and repair section. So basically this one, in this case, both of them are flashing, like it says, if there's a fault in that. So now we need to go to the basic troubleshooting topic in the maintenance and repair section. So I'm going all the way back up. Never before troubleshooted anything with plasma cutting before, so this is very interesting to learn all this on the fly. You too, huh? So going over the basics, it seems like the problem that we're having is that the power on LED is illuminated and the yellow temperature LED is illuminated, which it is. I'm going to assume that those flashes are the two reasons. One is indicating that there's a problem, and then the other one's flashing for what the problem is, and I think it's temperature. So it says to leave the power supply on to allow the fan to cool the power supply. So I guess at this point, the only thing that's left for us to do is to just leave it on and let it cool. So we're going to have some dinner. So after doing more research on it and having Luke check it out, Not quite sure what's going on with it. After like comparing some of the indicators, it's looking like I'm gonna have to take it to a service technician, which is not really cool. So we're gonna try replacing these consumables and see what's up. So unfortunately we have a setback, which is cool that we're getting this on camera. Unfortunately the plasma cutter is not cutting anymore. According to the indicators, there's something about the power service supply, and after doing the basic troubleshooting that I read off the manual, I still can't get it figured out. There's a couple things that could be going on with it. One, I'm hoping that it has something to do with the way we have the power routed out. If so, then at least we know it's not the plasma cutter that's having the issue, it's the way we're doing our power, which gives us another situation to deal with, but it'll be much easier than having to repair the plasma cutter. So I guess for now, because this is all we could really do, this wraps up episode 2. And coming up on episode 3, we will be finishing cutting out the holes with the assumption of having a fixed plasma cutter. By that time, I should have the steel eagle frames ordered in, so we'll also be welding in the frames that are going to go on the holes that were just cut out so we can start the window installation process. We'll see more from Scott and what he's got going on, but until then, you guys, happy building. I'm really excited to show you all the new changes that I've done and the new floor plan. In episode 1, I talked about the tentative floor plans, and that's obviously changed. And then we're going to do some grinding. I need to finish fleshing out.
Up here, that's what we've done is reinforced this area of the container.
Holes just like episode 3. I'm going to walk you through all the changes that's been made since our quiet time.